So hello everybody and welcome back to what is now the second heat race of the day, and the top 8 of this race will go into a grand finale to take place later on about 6 PM. We're having a little bit of problems here. We've had some internet issues to say the least, but we're about to get underway now for the second race here. Unfortunately, we've lost the qualifying order, so the qualifying order, Andre did a fantastic job. He will not be sitting on pole position. We're going to do a completely random grid now. Top 8 of this will go through into the final that's scheduled to take place later after this. Bad news is, well, the good news is that we had 8, so all of those 8 actually potentially went through into the final race no matter what. The bad news for some drivers is that some of them didn't get in. The good news for those drivers, though, now is they've gotten into the session, and now we have a bigger grid in this qualifying session for Heat 2. But it's not a qualifying session outright. This is just the top 8. Where they finish now, we'll go into the next race. And to make things a little bit more trickier here, we've made it a standing start. Now, I can tell you, I tried a little bit of standing start yesterday, and actually, no, we're going into qualifying. So it looks like we're going to redo the qualifying session, and then we'll go into a standing start here. So we will do qualifying for 10 minutes. Apologies for that. I thought we were going straight into the race. We have a total of 11 cars here racing here in this session here. So 10-minute qualifying, then we'll go into a standing start race. So it made it a little bit trickier for the actual race. This is a good opportunity, though, for the drivers to now qualify or re-qualify, get to grips of what happened. Better yet, try and dethrone Andre, let's say that, as we're about to get underway here. Down towards the final corner. There is the man that sat in pole position originally in the first session, which unfortunately we had a little bit of a connection issue, so it forced the sort of server to go down. So we've had to restart it here, and let's see if Andre can do it again, or if one of the other drivers can try and topple him here this weekend. We'll wait and see. So, or not this weekend, better yet, in this second race here, the Heat Race 2. So, first lap's now underway. You can see how hard these cars will drive there, but we've seen Andre just in front of him, staying off the gas there, letting the driver through. You can see how loose these cars can get through the corner. That certainly right there is one of the hardest corners to navigate your way through, one of these Aston Martin DBR1s. Classic straight 6 engines here, late 1950s models. I think it was a 1956 if I'm not mistaken. And straight 6 engines, 250 brake horsepower, 250 full brake horsepower, excuse me, 0 to 100 in about 5 odd seconds, something like that. But these things are very, very difficult to drive, and I can tell you from experience yesterday, I practiced myself, the drivers can tell you this as well, I had a massive problem with driving these things. I'm not the best at this game, but I had a problem as well. I can imagine some of the other drivers are having some issues too. If you want to look at some, check out Heat Race number 1. You can see some of the carnage that happened, especially going down towards the first corner. First corner as well, though, in that Heat Race, a fantastic move by Alex to take the win away from both Rami and Wissam. He snuck through up on the inside of both of them, and he never looked back, and he took the checkered flag just 8 laps later. Now we're underway for the first time lapped here, and that's the Dubai Autodrome, once again using the club circuit configuration, 2.54 kilometres in length, a total of 8 corners. I think it's 11 corners, excuse me, my apologies. It is 8 lefts, and is it 8 lefts or is it 8 rights? Let me get the information out here before I tell you what's wrong here. You can see a little map of the club circuit configuration now on the right hand side of your screen. And it is indeed, it's 6 rights, excuse me, 2 lefts, so it was 8 corners, my apologies, not 11. This includes the chicane into the bowl complex that I think he's just gone through there. Andre has just gone through. Thanks, Ollie, for correcting me there. Indeed, correct there. It is it's 8 corners in total, 6 rights and 2 lefts. You got fast, medium, and slow speed corners. The slow speed corners include the bowl complex and the sort of chicane, because it's 3 corners essentially very quickly in a straight line, and you have to. What you'll see some of the drivers do, especially if you go on board with Andre, you see him try and straight line it as much as possible to ensure that he doesn't have to brake and turn the wheel and lose any time. As we said, Heat Race winner 1 was Alex of Troubled Goat. Let's see who it is in race 2. I would say it's a safe bet to say Andre will be at the forefront of this, but then we have this man here. This is Faisal bin Laden, and if you don't know the name, 1, shame on you. 2, Faisal bin Laden is one of the most famous drivers from Saudi Arabia, an accomplished GT racer in his own right. and owns some incredible cars, and from what I've been told, he also owns a McLaren F1, which used to belong to one Rowan Atkinson, amongst many other incredible cars this space alone, and it's great to see him here, part of the Dubai Drives eDrive Championship. Great to have Faisal on board here. We've got many other prolific race car drivers as well in their own right in the United Arab Emirates. We have a few from the for the UAE Pro Car Championship. One of them is Dominic, who currently sits in third place at the moment. He's raced Clios. He's done a little bit of driving himself this season as well. He's been a former team manager for winning teams, including the Formula 1 Super Cup, the Dubai 24 Hours. He's organised various championships, including the UAE Pro Car Championship and the NGK Enduros. Or better yet, I say he organised those. He also participates in those races as well. Now, though, he is the business development manager and he heads the motorsport department at the Dubai Autodrome. So a wealth of experience for Dominic, and you're looking at him right now as he currently improves his time and sits in second place. Behind him is Aidan. Aidan did a fantastic job of qualifying in the first heat race, or the first heat race 2, that is. It can go a bit confusing here. He sat in second position, but now is under threat from Dominic, who currently sits in second place, as he's working his way through an intersector 2 here for what it'll be. It's about the third time, so he's looking to improve his lap time here in a very, very tight corner into the chicane. As we continue on here, about halfway through the session, 4.5 minutes to go in qualifying here to set the field for heat race number 2, after a little bit of a disconnection issue. That's what happened in the first session for the heat race there. There's a few Gragler cars here. Now, one of them is Dominic. Now, who's that to the right-hand side? We'll wait and see if there's any improvements at the line. One of them is Sharbin. Yep, it is. One of them is Sharbin, who is AR Motors, who's improved now into 9th position, but now is all dropped down to 10th, as I think that's Zalan, who's improved his lap time, going into 9th position at the moment. One of our two drivers one of our two GREs have not put a lap time in. One of those is Greg from Dubai Drives. The other one is Zalan. Now, I can't quite catch who it is, as we're looking at Miral. Miral put a 1:17 in the previous round. That would have been good enough at the moment for 8th place, but he's improved his lap time at a 1:16.253. I think he's one of the drivers that unfortunately suffered a disconnection problem not too long ago, and he's gone into the pit lane now, so I wonder if he thinks that it's done and dusted for him. There is Greg. He's having a little bit of an issue there, facing the wrong direction there briefly, and that's that's his lap now null and void. He's going to have to try again, and he's got 3 minutes to try again and see if he can improve his lap time. Not too bad in qualifying in the first take of heat race 2. There's a slow there through the bowl complex. It's probably one of the hardest corners actually to get through in one of these Aston Martin DBR1s. So we're now down towards the final corner here, but unfortunately this lap is basically nothing here. This is just for him to get up to speed now and get a good run down the long front straight here to 220 kilometers an hour in these Aston Martin DBR1s. Across the line here for another attempt here at a flying lap. And the 32 there with the blue nose. And actually, my apologies, Greg has actually put a time in. This GRE thing is a bit difficult here. It's actually Zalan, and I've just seen that Dubai Drives has pointed out to me, so thank you, I didn't quite catch that. Zalan's car is the number 6 with the orange grille, you can see on the map, so it's actually Zalan that hasn't put the lap time in. Apologies there, Greg, you're doing a great job in 9th position. You're 1 point off the cutting line. The end of the line is 8, you need to get that, you need to get past Coops somehow, but you're going to need to improve by at least 1.1 seconds on this lap. Looking through the rest of the field, so it's still Andre at front. Ada now sits in second with a 1:13.734, 1.5 seconds from Andre. In third place, we've got Dominic. I keep wanting to say his last name for some reason. His name is Dominic Simon. We'll strictly use first names here, and he's got a 1:14.245, currently sitting in third place overall. Then we have IVTBS, that's Ivan V. We're missing Ivan V, the main one, the huge crowd following PP Poo Poo Man, unfortunately not here, decided to spend time with family during this holy month of Ramadan. instead of joining us here for some racing action, but that's we'll hope to see him soon enough. And we have an Ivan to take the position. That's Ivy TDS, and he currently sits in 4th place overall. Faisal sits in 5th position. Abdullah is 6th. Then we have Miral sitting in 7th position. Then we have the 2 GREs together once again, and I think that's Greg sitting in 8th and Zalan sitting in 9th. Then we have Coops in 10th, and then rounding out our drivers here in 11th position is Sharvin, and we're about to, I think this is the final lap to get in, and as I said, the cutting point is 8th position, and currently on the chopping board right now is Zalan, Coops and Sharvin, as those look like the 3 that will be missing out on the final race to take place after this at about 6 PM local time. Of course, this is all part of the virtual vintage charity race here, the charity that we're helping out here, and who's supporting us as well, is the MakeMyMeal.ae, and all you have to do is, of course, donate some money. It's as low as 7 dirhams right now on Make My Meal, and you can make someone's life just a little bit more special during this holy month of Ramadan and, of course, the global current situation. That, of course, is MakeMyMeal.ae. The referral code for Dubai Drives is GAMF52020. That's GAMF52020. And of course is MakeMyMeal.ae. So in the final stage now, qualifying is officially complete. The final drivers are now on their last lap and looking for one final improvement here when they come across the line. Here's Andre working his way through traffic at the moment. I don't think there's going to be any improvement from Andre, but he is comfortably sitting about 1.8 seconds ahead of Aiden, and Dominic at the moment is a bit further back. He's about 0.2 of a second off Aiden, but looking to improve here. He's got one more chance to do this. Aiden has currently gone across the line. He's not improved his time, but Andre through the final corner, will he improve his final lap time here? 1:11.879. Will he be able to improve it when he's across the line? Dominic doesn't improve at the line. That's also 3rd place. And Andre does not improve at the on the last lap there, about a second slower than his fastest, but nonetheless he stands and still stays at the front of the grid. There is confirmation of the starting lineup now for heat race number 2. It'll be Andre in first, in pole position, and alongside him will be Aiden. Then we have Dominic in row number 2 in 3rd place, and here is where it's difficult. This is going to be a standing start, and these cars have a lot of wheel spin, and this is going to be a very interesting take on these cars here. The Aston Martin DBR ones from the late 50s here in Project Cars 2. There's a shot of the grid on the right-hand side of your screen, and the 18 was Andre, and he's just ahead of Dominic there, just in front of him, currently sitting on the bonnet of Faisal's car there, who lines up in 5th position on the 3rd row of the grid, and he'll be joined with Abdullah alongside for company. Then we have Miral in 7th. Then is that Greg? Yes, it is, in 8th place. Then Zalan will be in 9th on row number 5. Countdown is on. Are we going to go green? Yes, we are. We're racing here for the first time here in heat race number 2, and a bit of a scraggle start there, but all the drivers got through cleanly. Looks like the wheel spin that I had non-existent for these professionals here at the Dubai Drives eDrive Championship. Down towards turn 1, this is where the carnage happens. Who's going to be the one to cause the big one? Or are we going to get through cleanly? It's nice and clean there through, maybe not. A little bit of clattering there. That's Faisal bin Laden there, who's unfortunately upside down, and that's not where he wants to be here. The good news is that he hasn't spun. He can get that car up and going again, but he's going to have to do a lot of catching up to do. Andre, a fantastic start, or is it because there's a man in front of him? Ivan V is in front of him at the moment, and into the right hand of first. Andre tries to get on the inside. Can he do it? He's going to try and around the outside for the next corner. They bleed on each other, working their way through and into the bowl complex. Andre gets the better of him, and into the bowl goes the number 18, and leads once again a small shunt from behind. But yeah, that's not a small shunt, there's a big shunt there from it was that got into the back of him. Who's the number 20? And more carnage in the bowl complex. That's Zalan that's got into the back of a driver. More carnage there as the car flips, exiting the bowl complex. There is Sharvin, who's I think he got into a little bit of someone there just earlier on. Abdullah's through the final corner though. It looks like a clean race for Abdullah, who's now in 5th place. So your top 5 at the moment, it is Andre, Dominic and Ivan, and that unfortunately is that was Coops there in 10th place. We've lost a driver already, Who's that's unfortunately flaked out? That looks like we've lost Faisal Bin Laden, unfortunately. He was on his roof in turn 1, and unfortunately I think may have disconnected here, and will not be scoring, and we won't be seeing him in the next race, the final race. That will be where our top 8 from this race and our top 8 from the previous race will go through. As we're on board now with Aiden working his way through turn 3. He's in 3rd place, as we said, behind Dominic at the moment. Dominic's into the right-hander. Aiden not close enough to make a move. As here we're on board with Ivan, who's actually shown his 3rd place, excuse me. So apologies there. Aiden is in 4th, and I thought that wasn't Dominic's car that was in front of him. It is Dominic that's sitting in 2nd. Actually, no, now it's showing... Yes, it is. Okay, sorry, apologies there. I'm looking at a different timing screen here. Ivan is sitting in 3rd place. Aiden is 4th. Abdullah is 5th. Greg is 6th. Then we have Miral now, who's in 6th position. Greg's lost out and is now into 7th place. And unfortunately, Coops is disconnected as well. So more dramas here for some of the drivers. Leaves just 9 drivers on track, which means only 1 will be cut off in this race. And in that bubble area is one of the GREs. And that's not... I don't think that's Greg. I have a feeling that is the Lam that's in the bubble area. Because that would be GRE Mane. Yes, I think that is him further down. It's a great battle here for what is 4th position between Ivan and Aiden at the moment as they're working their way through the 2nd corner here. The Dividerdrome Club Circuit configuration. Down towards the chicane, and Aiden's going to try and move to the inside. No, he's not. Thinks better of it as he dabs the brakes and doesn't clatter into his opponent, but his opponent does run out wide coming out of the chicane, but is on the inside of the bowl complex, which leaves Aiden out to dry. Bit loose there going on the curbs as he's through the penultimate corner now, and he's lost significant ground to Ivan as they work their way through that penultimate corner. Down towards the final corner there's Dominic just in the distance ahead of them. 2 identical number 20s here. It's not that confusing at all, although I think the livery, the driver overalls are slightly different if you look at them. But great battle here for the 3rd and final step of the podium between Ivan and Aiden, because you know side by side. No, they're not. As Aiden continues to trail just behind Ivan at the moment, down towards turn 1, very early on the brakes there for Ivan, but he's going to try and sneak up on the inside as Ivan is left to dry out wide. Nope. As he gets the cut back into turn 2. So Ivan stays in 2nd place as Aiden has to settle for 4th at the moment. He's going to continue to apply the pressure. We're at the halfway point here of race 2, peak race 2 here as part of the Dubai Drive's eDrive Championship. The vintage, the virtual vintage charity race as we're calling it. Of course, you can donate to a great cause, which of course is gift a meal campaign from makemymeal.ae. So the website is makemymeal.ae, and for just 7 dirhams you can make someone's life a little bit better during these tough times, and of course the holy month of Ramadan. Just head on over to makemymeal.ae, donate however much money you want to, and just use the referral code GAMF52020. That's GAMF52020, and donate to your heart's content at makemymeal.ae. Looking back now at Dominic, who's currently sitting in 2nd place. Now we're on board with this is Greyman R, so it's not Greg that's in 7th place. Greg is on the bubble. Dubai Drive's signature driver in this session is on the bubble. Are we going to have any more of the drivers in the top 8? I think we might do, because who was that spun out wide going through that corner? Now who was that? That was pointing in the wrong direction at the final corner. And have they got the car going again? Yes, they have, but they've lost significant ground. Now, who was it, though, is the question, as there is Andre leading out, and a very comfortable lead for him as well, 5.8 seconds. This is his own private lobby here at the moment, and it looks like Aiden's found a way past Ivan as well somewhere, while we were looking back at some more racing action further down the field. But now we have a new man in 3rd place. Aiden sits in 3rd, behind Dominic by about... how far back is he? He's 3 seconds from Dominic at the moment. As there is Dominic just ahead of him into the final corner, and it looks like Aiden's now putting a gap between himself and Ivan as through the final corner they go. Here is Miral, currently sitting in 7th place at the moment, new to the Dubai Drive's eDrives Championship here this weekend. Did pretty well in qualifying for the 1:17, but hasn't been able to grasp that qualifying time at the moment. His fast lap is a 1:24.708. But he is sitting in 7th place, which is good news because he will be going through and into the final race if he finishes where he is right now. We've passed the halfway stage. We're on lap now 6 of 8. Our leader's now working his way into the chicane. Of course, is Andre sitting 7.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the field with a lap time of 1:12.804, and Mirrell significantly improves his lap time on that final lap there, but he's too late on the brakes there through the first corner. It's a 1:15.893, and he clatters into the side of Abdullah. Is that Abdullah that he clattered into the side of? It would be. It was the battle for 5th place, but let's wait and see. Actually, no, it wouldn't have been, because that would have been too close. That was actually the battle between himself and Zalan. Now, where is Zalan? Is he still racing on track? Yes, he is. He hasn't lost too much ground. He's lost about a second to Mirrell as they work their way through. There is Greg representing Dubai Drives and not representing it very well as he's down in 9th place at the moment. Maybe just stick to the camera work. But Tom doing a fantastic job as a replacement at the moment, giving Greg a chance behind the wheel. Greg did have some good qualifying efforts, that's for sure, putting some fast times, but unfortunately he's missing out at the moment, and as we say that, he's up now into 8th place. Greg puts his car now into 8th place, and that puts him into the top 8, which could put him into the grand finale. What's going to happen now if we have all the Dubai Drives team in the final race? Who's going to do the camera work? We'll have to wait and see as Mirrell looking for a way past Zalan as they work their way now down towards the final corner. And this is where he did it last time. He was very late on the brakes. Now, did he learn from the previous lap? No, he's going to try and brake as late as possible. But he doesn't get loose here going through the first corner. And he's going to try and sneak up on the inside. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Or can he? They're side by side through turn 2 and up into turn 3, looks like. Abdullah backed out. No, it's not Abdullah, sorry, excuse me, it's not Abdullah, that is Zalan, excuse me, that he's battling with there. And that was the battle for 7th position as Zalan hits the wall. Now, how far back is Greg and how far back is Sharvin? Can they both find a way past him? Can they move up the order? The gap between Greg has got higher, and he's been passed by... he's been passed by Sharvin. Greg has also been passed by Sharvin, but they're clattering their way through the start of the chicane. They're not careful, they're going to have the leader up and behind them soon enough. But yet, there is that the leader there through it? No, it's not. Now, this is all going down to the wire here as we're on the penultimate lap here. One final lap to go. And the number 6, unfortunately, I think that's Zalan. I think his race is done and dusted. And he's going to have to settle for 9th position as he sits in the bubble, the cut-off area, as Andre is through the final corner and looks to take a comfortable win by 11 seconds here. Through the final corner, Andre comes across the line and he takes the win in heat race number 2. And he secures himself a spot in the final race. Dominic will come across the line in second, or will he? Is that Aiden alongside him? Yes, he is, but Aiden's going to try the long way round, but that's not going to work as Aiden gets loose coming through the final corner. Does he get him at the line? Ooh, there's a penalty to be applied to Aiden across the line there. Now, he didn't take second, and he's not going to take third either. He's taken 4th position, as he's been shown as drop behind Ivan, and he's also been shown as drop behind Abdullah as well. What's happened here? Why is Aiden dropping down? That's quite a significant penalty he's been given here. And let's wait and see for confirmation, because we will get a shot of the official results here of race 2. So let's just make a note that heat race 2 winner is Andre. Another fantastic win as well for Andre, very similar to what happened with Alex in race 1. Led from the get-go, and there it is. 8 laps later, he is the winner. And there is official results there. Andre takes the win from Dominic. Ivan takes 3rd, with Abdullah taking 4th position. Aiden dropped down to 5th at the line after challenging for what would have been 2nd position with Dominic. Mirrell takes 6th position. Then we have Sharvin. Is that Sharvin that takes 7th position, at the line? And Greg rounds out the top 8. That is the end of heat race number 2. We'll have the 3rd and final race today, where the top 8 from heat race 1 and Heat Race 2 will be joined in one final and epic race. So join us for that. That's scheduled to take place shortly. Thanks for joining us here in the second Heat Race, and we shall see you soon.